Hello and welcome to Planet Smasher HQ. Bit of an exciting 24 hours at headquarters if I'm honest. First piece of news is that Hobgoblin has won Judge's Choice for Best New Miniature Rules at UKGE 2024. It's very exciting, isn't it? The second thing is that I have just received a number of boxes containing what I believe to be Hobgoblin Rulebooks. Let's take a look. Here it is. Let's take a look inside. Here it is. My Hobgoblin. Look at that beautiful front cover artwork from Crom. It's much more detailed than I expected. It really looks fantastic. All right, let's take a look inside. Now here is a poem called the Gilvalden. Oh, I'm really excited. I'm actually kind of nervous to have a look through. This is the thing that I have made that I am the most excited and proud of. This is the Gilvalden, translated by Avelaine Chiavoli. Now, Avelaine turns up later in the fiction of this book as well. All right. Oh, the print quality is so nice. Yeah, look at this. It looks fantastic. Look at that lovely clean layout. Hobgoblin is a game of brutal fantasy battles. Here's some beautiful miniatures. I think those are some one-page rules. Oh, this is exciting. Here is the map of Rotwalden. I'm trying to see how clear all the details are. They are very clear. This was the initial moment of world building that I did. I tried to imagine what a fantasy world that I could get excited about making different would be for this game. So I first drew this map that was sort of the wrong way round, so that it was descending down into the earth rather than showing a big plan of the earth. I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. The Rotwalden is a subterranean world of claustrophobic corridors connecting cavernous voids that house mighty cities, lightless underground oceans, and yet stranger sights. Isvalden, the frozen catacombs. This is the up is referred to as Istwood and down is referred to as Eldwood. You've also got east, west, north and south, but those are sort of in and out of the map and sideways. Here is the cold, frozen, dead surface of the earth, and so this top layer, the Isvalden, is very cold and icy, filled with skeletons and all kinds of unpleasant undead nastiness. And then we have the Stenhal, which is the sort of biggest chunk of the map. The Stenhal is the sort of temperate region that's coldest in the Istwood realms and gets kind of warmer as it goes down before it meets this sort of tropical zone, which is the Natsvamp, the slime forests where you get warm, hot, humid conditions and giant fungused forests, all kinds of nastiness. And then towards the base of the map are the infernal realms, the Eldvalden, which is this area here that's nearest the core of the planet. And so here's the Eldhal, which is the sort of fire realm where the demons live. And there are some walls constructed here to keep out the demons, which is explored a bit more in the poetry of the world building. Wow, this looks great. It's interesting because these are not illustrations by Crom, and so they kind of begin to set a slightly broader tone for the book, which I wasn't sure about initially, but I really like it because it kind of is pulling the world open. So here's a Crom picture. Shruck! Fantastic. That spread is just great. That looks fantastic. Some beautifully painted miniatures by Sean Sutter. Thank you, Sean. Some diagrams that I hand drew. I'm really pleased with how they turned out. And so these are keywords. This is a thing that we did throughout the book where special rules that you're going to need in a number of occasions will appear multiple times through the book so that you have access to it. And here is some various flavor text as well. I went much deeper on world building and flavor text in this game. So here we have the different unit types: light infantry, ranged infantry, the different cavalries, monsters, chariots. I love these models. I really need to buy the STLs from Bestarium and get some of those printed up for myself because they look so good. Here's the core of Hobgoblin, the target number chart. A little bit old-fashioned when you first see it, but it really does make this game lightning fast to play on the table. This is one of my favourite bits of fluff, the Hollow Men of Malkmanon. I like it. And that's one of my favourite little doodles. That's a Sean Sutter image. So these here, these grey, these sort of icy looking ones, these are terrain rules that are formatted differently to the strengths and weaknesses. Oh, another fantastic spread there. I really like this kind of rolled ink effect. So here's the magic system. This is a magic system where you get a number of resources, depending on the size of your army and the number of spellcasters you have. You get Mercury tokens to spend, and the spells just always go off. It's where you choose to spend your tokens is what matters. Shooting. That's pretty much the only typo I know about. Revolve shooting attacks. Ah, well. You're always going to have one. Moving. Rules for engagement and outmaneuvering. What happens when people get round the back of you. A note on the gobs. Combat. Doom phase. Some more world building here. Cave-dwelling lizard folk. And Silosi, the Red King. He's one of the abyssal gods that you can use as your spellcasting school. Rules for terrain. It's pretty much all the rules for terrain just on that page and a half. Although there is a half page of cover rules there as well. And then the fortune cards. I'm still waiting to receive my fortune cards. They are on the way. So I'll show those when they arrive. Building an army. There's an awesome Hobgoblin army builder app linked from there, which you can get to. Keywords. And then here's the Abyssal Sorcery, the different spell lists that you can choose from. Yeah, this layout looks lovely. It's very colourful and bright. Here's the cursed artifacts. So as a final piece of list building, you choose, well, you can choose, but there's no reason not to, one cursed artifact for your general, and that will give them some special rules which allow you to create a different sort of mechanical flavour to your army, different synergies within the army. Yeah, and this is one of the final things that we managed to squeeze in during the layout revisions. This is the lyrics to a song that I wrote. I won't be recording me singing this, but it does have a tune. The Two Weavers. Ah, this is nice. Setting up a battle. This is a really good image for setting up a battle. Again, there's an app, a web app for generating what is here called the Chaos of War. So you generate the scenarios, which gives you the different objectives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different scenarios. Little note on Magniphants. I'm not going to tell you what they are now, but go read about what a Magniphant is. You can probably imagine. Oh, look at that. That looks brill. And then this Chaos of War set of charts allows you to generate a sort of random battle where the first step is that you roll for one or more battlefield sort of elements. These are kind of terrain pieces. Then you roll for the deployment type, and then you roll one or more twists to see if there's some special rules that apply during the game. And this is just to kind of provide a a little smattering of variety so that the games, even if you play with the same armies, you'll always have different elements that the game is sort of placing in the way to change the dynamics on the table. Oh, these look great, these tables. Oh, look at that image, it's so good. Crom, I love you, man. And then Other Ways to Play has got a few narrative scenarios where I wanted to do some specific undergroundy type things, and I wanted a cool siege battle. And there's sort of two siege battles here. This one where we have to breach the wall, and the one where you have to defend the breach. So you can kind of link those two together. Some quick rules about how best to play with multiple players aside, and then with some different objectives if you play with more players. And then some solo play. So this is a little bit more involved solo mode where you get to play against an automated opponent, and the automated opponent uses these charts to manage how they attack you. And then we get to this, which is essentially a novella that I wrote in the setting. So this is a story about Gurk, the Hobgoblin guard captain, who hears the calling of this cursed artifact and commits a terrible sin, and then goes on a blasphemous quest. This looks great. This is because I wanted to have a bunch of exploration of the world, but I didn't want to do it in a sort of travelogue way where we just sort of talk about Rotwalden as if it was the rough guide to Rotwalden. And so this is the core way that I communicate the setting, is through Gurk sort of traveling down through the world and experiencing some of the different settlements, some of the different biomes, meeting some characters, and kind of interacting with the core conceit of the world. I'm quite pleased with this epilogue. I wrote it on an aeroplane, and it really ties together the start of the story with a potentially mythical end to the story, which we never learn. And this takes us forward to sort of the present day, where our bard, who we met in the end papers with her translation of this poem, we meet her again here. She's in a pub singing and telling a tale of our hobgoblin hero, but we never find out whether what she's telling is really what happened or not. Right, and then there's some designer's notes, some commentary about how I came to the game, and how some of the mechanics are structured, and some of the underpinning logic of how they work. Awesome. That is really exciting. And then there's an index of keywords, so you get all of the rules that you're likely to forget. They're all at the back here, along with the Chaos of War table, and a Hobgoblin army roster, which you will potentially never need because of the wonderful army builder that we have. And then there's a quick reference sheet which has the points values so that you can build your army, and the basically all of the summaries of the rules is here. So this is pretty much all you need to know to play. And there we go. That is Hobgoblin, or Mike Hutchinson's Hobgoblin, beautifully printed by Electi Studio. I am incredibly pleased with that. It looks absolutely fantastic. Thanks, Greg. You did an amazing job with this. But wait, there's more. Here we have the deluxe hardback edition with its beautiful black cover. It's got the same image, cropped slightly differently, laid out slightly differently. The rest of the interior is the same, but it's got this unique cover. Fantastic. Well, there we go. I finally got a chance to look at the finished product. If you want to pick up your own copy of this award-winning miniatures game, then go to planetsmashergames.com/hobgoblin and click the big button to go buy yourself a lovely shiny hardback cover. I'm going to have a game of this with my mate this evening, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye!